Hello everyone. So today I'm going to talk about how I learned data structures at the hospital. So a few days back I visited the hospital to get some checks done. I arrived at the hospital early as the line was pretty long at the hospital. So I got my appointment done. So the scenario was that we had to take a file, give it to the nurse. The nurse would keep it on a stack and then she would call us one by one to get ourselves checked by the doctor. So after an hour, the doctor arrived. After an hour, the doctor arrived, and then the nurse picked up the first file from the stack and started calling us. So all of us patients started looking at each other as we realized that the people who had come first will be served last, and the people who had come last would be served first. So we thought that this was not at all right. So just at that moment, another senior nurse came and told the other nurse that this is not the way you're supposed to call the patients. You're supposed to call the patient that had come first to be served first, to be looked by the doctor first. And she turned the stack of files upside down, and she told the nurse, now call the patients one by one. And I just thought to myself that even though we may have not formally studied about data structures, but we knew the data structures so well. The first choice we had was the data structure of stack, but the stack is not at all a good data structure to be used here. The next was the senior nurse upturned the stack of files and she turned it into a queue. And so basically now it was a queue, and one by one the person who had arrived first would be served first. And just then I thought to myself that there were other patients, like there were some patients who were really old and it was really difficult for them to sit. There were some patients, there was a pregnant woman, so it was difficult for her to wait. And then I just thought to myself that even a queue data structure isn't that good here. That usually what we say, that aap pehle chale jao, you can go first, you need to go first, we will wait. So we understand that they are at a higher priority. So I just thought to myself that in many places we are already applying priority queue, which is a comparatively an advanced data structure. Data structure is something that comes naturally to our mind. So when I'm learning data structure, I do not need to be worried or think that this is something very difficult. Instead, I should approach it in such a way that this is something that comes naturally to my mind, and now I'm going to explore this in even greater detail, and I'm going to just think that how can I apply it in a even better way. This will make my learning process a little easier, and it will also introduce the fun element or the application element that we often miss in education, and that is something that helps us learn. I'm sure this must have happened with all of us when we look at a scenario and think to ourselves how this topic or concept is similar to what we have studied, and this makes the overall learning process fun and fruitful. Thank you.